Good afternoon out there. You are welcome to the POLITY. The POLITY is a program that focuses attention on unfolding political events within Nigeria and even beyond the shores of the country. You are welcome, and my name is Maucauley Hunohashi. Before I introduce my guest who will be joining me later in the course of the show, let me take you up to speed with news making headlines in Nigeria. And we are starting with the current news, where the Supreme Court on Thursday, that's today, declared it is unconstitutional for state governors to hold on to funds meant for local government administrations. In its lead judgment read by Justice Emmanuel Agim, the Apex Court observed that the state government's refusal of financial autonomy for local governments has gone on for over 2 decades. Justice Agim stated that local governments have not been receiving the money meant for them, as state governors have been acting in their stead. He emphasized that the 774 local government councils in the country should manage their funds themselves. The court dismissed the preliminary objections of the defendants. There are 774 local government areas in the country, but the efficiency of this third tier of government has been hampered by some controlling and overbearing governors who have been accused of mismanaging funds meant for the administration of local governments. In recent months, calls for local government autonomy have increased in Nigeria, with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu also supporting the calls. And with this judgment has come in the wake reactions by many Nigerians, and they are applauding the decision of the Supreme Court to, by passing this ruling. And one of them that has been in the forefront for the calling for the autonomy of local government is the presidential candidate of the Social Democratic Party, Prince Adewale Adebayo, who held the local governments. He called the local governments as mere post offices for mailing local government funds. And today he tweeted by saying governors have to be governors of their states and not chairman general of local government area councils. That's the message tweeted by the presidential candidate of the Social Democratic Party, Prince Adewale Adebayo. And now moving on to the Senate, the National Assembly, where the Nigerian Senate has passed a resolution urging the federal government to, as a matter of urgency, initiate measures to tackle the impending food insecurity, in the country. The resolution followed the adoption of a motion sponsored by Senator Sunday Karimi, APC Kogi State, and Senator Ali Ndume, APC Borno State, on the urgent need to address food insecurity and market exploitation of consumables in Nigeria. Leading the debate, Karimi said in the last few months, the price of goods and household consumables in Nigeria had been on an all-time high, adding that a greater percentage of the increase in prices of food items and consumables were not only responsible for the factors, but also the greed of merchants, traders, and retailers to make supernormal profits. And now, the House of Representatives has asked the federal government to suspend the implementation of the Samoa Agreement until all controversial clauses are addressed and spelled out. This followed a motion of urgent national importance sponsored by 88 House members. In moving the motion on Tuesday, Honorable Aliu Madaki drew attention to the clause which highlights gender equality and describes it as a Trojan horse, which could violate the morals of the country. The House also mandated its relevant committees to investigate the controversial provisions of the agreement. The People's Democratic Party has appealed the Federal High Court judgment that annulled the governorship primaries that produced Asue Ighodalo as its candidate in the forthcoming 2024 governorship election in Edo State. In the appeal dated July 9, 2024, and filed at the Court of Appeal Abuja Division, the party is praying the appellate court to set aside the judgment of the lower court delivered on July 4, 2024, arguing that the decision of the trial court was against the weight of evidence. Justice Ian Ekwa of the Federal High Court Abuja had declared the PDP primary election held on February 22nd in Edo State as invalid. Now, the creation of the new Ministry of Livestock Development by President Tinubu has continued to generate mixed feelings amongst Nigerians. For some, the Ministry of Agriculture was enough to deal with the issue, and for others, the new ministry was the way to go. However, The Miete Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria has applauded President Tinubu for creating a new ministry. Magban President Baba Othman Zengarma, who spoke on national television on Wednesday, stated that the potential of livestock has not been tapped in Nigeria. But with the ministry, the country will unleash the economic gains of the sector and create more jobs. That's how far we can go on the news roundup on the polity today. Please stay with us. When we come back, I will introduce my special guest that will be joining me, and we'll open our telephone lines that will be displayed on your screen so that viewers can call to participate and make the program conversational and interactive. Please stay with us.
KAFTAN TV. You know what? Increase the volume. Keep watching. Don't touch the dial, okay?
It's your girl Ejeh Blessing Sunday. I want you all to keep watching KAFTAN TV.
Please keep watching KAFTAN TV. It is the best TV station in the country. They're doing an amazing job. Please do not touch the dial. Keep watching. Thank you.
In a world where information is vital to every individual, a platform where technology is a medium to pass information, you can always catch up on all information written in the newspapers, even without having one. Join us on The Press.
Reaching live from the Abuja studios.
On The Punch for this morning, the Blueprint newspaper, Nigeria.
You're welcome back. If you are just joining us, this is the polity, and our focus today is on the Supreme Court ruling that has given 774 local governments autonomy, and there are reactions trailing that ruling today. And joining me in the studio from our far right is Dr. Jonathan Ejeh. Dr. Jonathan Ejeh is a publisher, is an author rather, and a public affairs analyst. Dr. Jonathan Ejeh, you're welcome to the polity.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well,
good day, viewers.
Thank you. Well, by my right is Mr. Edward Chinoni. Edward Chinoni is a public affairs analyst. Mr. Edward, you are welcome to the polity.
Thank you very much for having me. Happy viewing.
Thank you. Well, there has been calls in the past decades for full autonomy for local government, and many people have adduced reasons, but there has always been pushback by state governors who you know, went against it, because the Attorney General of the Federation instituted a case at the Supreme Court, and the 36 governors, you know, tried to counter it by, you know, refusing autonomy for local government. But today, we're welcome not to news that some people are saying is good news for local government autonomy, and the Supreme Court has issued out a ruling towards that effect. How did you receive the news today?
It's a welcome development, and I'm happy that we still have a judiciary that can speak the truth as it is. And the question I would like to ask, or I'm asking, rhetorical question rather, is who is not happy at this ruling? Is there any Nigerian that is not happy at the ruling of the Supreme Court? And why is that particular individual not happy?
Governors may not be happy, but you know, as it is now, they cannot appeal it, because this is the apex court's ruling.
If they are not happy, the next question is it in the general good? Is it for the general good? Is it going to affect life? Is it going to bring development to the local level? If the answer is yes, we should be able to do the right thing at all times if we have the interest of the people at heart. That's my take.
Edward, how did you receive the news? What was your reaction when you first heard the breaking news?
Actually, it was a good news. First of all, I want to appreciate and congratulate Mr. President for allowing the rule of law to prevail in this local government autonomy. I also want to congratulate the judiciary and the local government chairman that will be, accruing these funds. So I want to really thank God for the president for allowing the free and fair rulings in this ruling, because he has interest of the masses at heart and he wants the nation to be governed well.
Okay, talking about governance well, I've not yet read the full ruling by local government, but I have a snippet of what the rulings is all about. The first one is allocations are to be paid directly to local government councils immediately. What do you think about that?
That's the right way to go. And it will bring peace, it will bring development to the local level. It will even reduce the level of agitation and hunger in the land.
In what way?
Definitely.
Can that solve hunger in the land? In what way can that solve hunger
yes,
in the land? Don't forget that there are some local governments that don't have elected chairmen till this moment. And in the last 6-7 years or so, there are states that have not even conducted local government elections. They've been, caretakers committee have been holding sway. And part of what the Supreme Court said, appointment of caretaker committees is illegal and unconstitutional, that no governor has any powers to appoint caretaker committees. That is part of the ruling today.
If you take sample among the 774 local governments in the country today, how many of the personnel are going to the offices, local government offices? How many of them are taking the correct salaries? How many of them are being owed salaries? And most of them, they have dependents. People that they are looking after at the local level. They are not interested in going to the office because their salary is not guaranteed. But with this pronouncement now, there's every guarantee that they are going to be functional in their local government, they are going to take their salary, they are going to take care of their dependents, and it will bring development to the local government.
You believe so?
I strongly
It will bring development to the local government?
It will bring, because that is the grassroots.
Okay.
That is the grassroots. And if you look at these politicians and the governors, when they need the vote, they go to the grassroots. And where after their victory, you don't even see them again at the grassroots till the next voting time. So this autonomy is highly welcome. It's a welcome development to the country entirely.
And one of the statements, to you still Edward, one of the statements attributed to the Supreme Court judges is that they said governors have constituted themselves as dangerous species to the development of democracy in Nigeria.
Well, just like what the paper or one of the part of the judgment that I've said, they have deemed it fit to see that it is so. The governors are demigods. They are demigods. But with this, I believe it will break their wings and even their powers. They may not have that right over the local government chairman as per se.
Okay.
And there will be no imposition of a local government chairman from henceforth.
Okay.
And actually with this, even the office of the local government chairman in terms of future elections, and it will be very competitive.
Okay,
So
it will be very competitive.
It will be very competitive.
Don't you think it will be expensive? Because I've heard some people say, for you to the politics, local government politics is going to be very, very expensive.
Yes, that's why I say it will be competitive, because it will be expensive. And one thing I will tell the local government chairman, once this fund comes into the purse, they should be careful and be prudent in managing the finance. Yes.
Okay.
Do you agree?
Richard, do you agree with him, Dr. Ejeh?
Yeah, definitely, I agree with him. The election in the country will be very competitive, and it will prop up genuine and competent leaders. I very much believe that it will definitely bring up competent leaders, people that have the genuine heart to work and to please the masses. I seriously believe that.
What do you think will happen if, in the event of a local government that don't currently have elected council? Because the Supreme Court gave a direct order that money should be sent to local government with immediate effects.
Yes, local governments are having caretaker committee. I think wisdom demands that governors should set out a timetable for local government elections. Once the timetable is set and there is electioneering going on, and there is every assurance that the balanced activity of the local government and their constitutional responsibility is going to be delivered to them, you discover that even the caretaker committees that are there, they have every right to turn to become a candidate if they show interest in campaigning for the next election. So it's very, very important now that the judgment has come forth. Each governor of each of the states of the federation should be able to set out a timetable that will prop up electioneering, that will remove this phase of caretaker committees.
Okay,
that's my take.
Okay. Before you hold on in your line of thoughts, I want to just remind our viewers that this program is their show. Our telephone line will be displayed by our producer so that they can also call to participate. Please do call so that you can make the program interactive and conversational. Go ahead with your line of thoughts.
Yeah, to buttress more on the question you have thrown to Dr. Ejeh and about the local government and the caretaker committees. I think the federal government should also think that such a thing, they shouldn't send such funds to the caretaker, those that are in charge of the caretaker offices.
Because they are already rendered illegal,
yes,
by the Supreme Court judgment.
Such local government that are having committees, funds shouldn't be released to their local government until the governor bring out a good timetable so that an election will hold, and then whoever emerges as the new chairman, then the federal government can kick off on there and release their funds. But for now, they should withhold such funds.
Talking about funds, when the Attorney General of the Federation, Latif Fagbemi, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, instituted a case against the 36 governors, they became defendants, and they kicked against such thing. Would you say their decision was informed by the resource control of the local government, or is it just for political expediency?
Oh, you mean the decision of the Supreme Court?
Yes, for governors to kick against it. They opposed the Ejeh case instituted at the Supreme Court, and they became defendants.
I was not surprised, because when the governors were controlling the fund of the local government, you begin to ask whose interests were they protecting. So if they were protecting the interest, if it was that they had no confidence in the local government chairman, that was why they were holding to the fund. What have they been doing with such funds? Why are we not seeing developments at the grassroots? Why are they not paying personnel costs? Why are they not releasing the money to the chairmen that are constitutionally and legally put there through via election? Why are they holding on to the money? And where is that money? I think EFCC should ask some governors or begin to investigate all the money that they have collected so far into the local government via the state governors, where those monies went to and what they are done with them.
Now, currently the federal government receives 52% under the Revenue Mobilization Allocation and Fiscal Commission, RAMAFIC, which operates under the presidency. They disburse funds on monthly basis, and this is how the breakdown is. The federal government takes 52.68%, and then states get 26%, and local governments get 20, a little over 20%. Now, let's take a state of, for instance, a state like Kano that has 44 local governments, and 20% of that funds coming, you multiply times 44 local government. That is huge amount of money.
Definitely.
That the governor will not see with this Supreme Court judgment. How worried would you think the state governors will be?
Those that have the interest of the nation and their people at heart, I don't think they should be worried. Rather, they should constitute themselves into putting an eye to monitor those funds, to make sure that those funds are genuinely used for the purposes for which they are meant. That should be the responsibility of the governors now. Now,
with this ratio, state governors get 26%, a little above 26%, and local governments get 20%. And the gap is not much. So which means the local government will have more responsibility in terms of provisions of dividends of good governance.
Yeah, you are right. And despite that, hence the gap is not much.
We'll hold your thoughts there. We have a first caller.
Okay.
Hello, good afternoon, our first caller. Good afternoon, our first caller.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Garba. I'm calling from Gombe.
Garba, go ahead. You are a regular caller. I remember you.
Thank you very much. Let me say congratulations to Nigeria and the local government for getting the full autonomy. And my concern is the election of the local government.
Okay.
Majority of the local government was elected, not elected. How sure are we that they are not going to succumb to the pressures of the governors? Because they are not elected. They are all stooges of the governors. And I think this will affect the full autonomy of the local government. And I'm thinking that the election of the local government should be transferred to the National Independent Electoral Commission.
That's right.
For the people in the grassroots to elect their leaders so that they will stand on the full autonomy. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Garba. You have heard him. Garba is advocating for departure from the interference by state governors, where governors constitute state electoral bodies to conduct elections. And you know what happens when a governor has a strong grip, on a state electoral. And he did say that, local government elections should be conducted by federal INEC. Do you hold that view?
Yeah, actually, I agree with that, what the man that just spoke now said. And I think it has been passed across in the law that the federal INEC should handle local government election. But I believe the governors have been muzzling these things. But with this judgment, I don't think the governor have powers again over the local government chairman. These things are constitutional matters.
Yeah.
And no local government chairman that knows what the constitution has said about his local government,
that's right,
that will succumb to
any
the governor
pressure
again. No pressure. He can respect the governor as the governor. But it's just little power that the governor have over him, but the governor have no right to tamper with the local government funds, even if he brings somebody and put it. If federal INEC handle the election matters, I believe the governor's powers are broken. My joy is that things are taking shape gradually in this country, and things must take shape.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, with this ruling by the Supreme Court, what kind of politics do you envisage? Is it going to be bloody, as it is the spectacle everywhere in Nigeria during our politicking within local governments? I'm asking this because local governments, those that will throw their hat in the race, are Nigerians. And you know the way we behave in the political arena. So that's what I'm asking.
I think with the current judgment, I don't think that election is going to be bloody in the country. Because why the governors were having overbearing influence on the local government chairman or the candidate was because they were holding the resources. Now that the resources are transferred to the local government, and anybody that is canvassing to become the local government chairman at that level should be somebody that is credible, because it is going to, power is going to purely rely with the masses, with the public. So I don't think election and the local government, with what is happening now, is going to be violent, because the competent ones, if you are credible and have something to offer, you present yourself, and the masses, the electorate, they will decide who they want to lead them.
The electorate will decide who will want to lead them.
Yes.
I earlier, asked a question about, the paucity of funds. There are people that believe that they are credible, and they have what it takes to offer service, but they lack the financial muscle or financial wherewithal to throw their hat in the race. Will this ruling, do you see a departure from godfatherism within the local government council elections?
Let me look at it from a different perspective. Our political parties, irrespective of whether they are in authority or not, they have a role to play here. if they allow themselves to be subsumed under the leadership and the influence of the governors, we'll still come back to the problems we are having.
Yeah.
So this is the right time for our political parties to stand, to be on their toes, because it is a vehicle that prompts up the candidates that will eventually make them the local government chairman. But when a political party cannot stand on their own manifesto, if they have one, and allow a credible candidate to emerge, but they will go back to the governor and collect list and say, who do you want to be here, who do you want to be there? Most of the time, I discover that the political parties are the major problems we have in the country.
Okay.
There are so many people that are credible, they have something to offer. They will look at their family background, they will look at their financial muscle, they will look at the problems they have had over land matters, even before the election. And the leaders of the political parties will now begin to muzzle them and silence them. So the responsibility is on the political parties to look for credible candidates who will become leaders that will deliver the dividends of democracy to the people at the grassroots. It's very, very important.
Now, Dr. Ejeh talked about the absence of internal democracy within political parties. Let me ask you, how endemic would you say that has affected, the emergence of credible candidates?
Actually, it has affected the political terrain. And, imposition of candidate is not the best. Because when you impose somebody, that person must submit to you. We can see the issue of godfatherism with the current, some states. You see how it is. And some are trying to break out of it. So that the father will not muzzle him and take the state finances or whatever that is there. So with this very current ruling, I believe some of these things will die. And not only that, those that will want to vie for the office of chairmanship should also stand their ground, so that those imposing them to become whatever they want to be in the political arena should cease. Let them stand their ground. If you want to impose candidature on me and whatever, and then because you want me to pay back to you, I won't do it.
Yeah.
Because I owe my people the duty to serve them. In the local government, those are the grassroots, knows who is who that is coming into to become the chairman. They know. Because they live with the people. Now,
Dr. Ejeh, Mr. Chinoni talked about imposition and how it has affected the outcome of credible candidates. Now, let me ask you. I know of a state that in the next few days they have slated elections for chairman and local government councillor, and that state has about 21 local government areas. And the governor allegedly purchased only limited number of forms. In fact, in the first place, the cost of a nomination form was 9 million naira and expression of interest form was 1 million naira, making a total of 10 million naira for you to pick form to contest the primary election. Not only that, only 21 forms, exactly the number of local governments, were made available. And they have been given to individuals that belong, they are so-called anointed individuals within the political party. The opposition parties, the APC, PDP, and Labour Party, these are the three major opposition parties in that state, held press conferences and said they are not, interested in running for office. One of them has even instituted a case against the government in courts. Now, what does that kind of, political characteristics tell about our kind of brand of politics?
The general notion is that our democracy is young, and we hide behind our political democracy being young to perpetuate so many evils. Now, the picture I have about what is playing out and is likely to play out is this. Okay. Just like the struggle we put up to move or to remove the military from the scene and bring back the democracy, it was not easy. It is going to be the same struggle between the governors and the local government chairman. it is not something that is cast in gold. They may not get it right first. I'm talking of the candidates now. Like those people that they have bought, the governor has bought forms for. They may be tempted to dance to the tune of governor to allow their candidature to sail through.
Okay.
But I see a situation where they are going to break out and stand on their feet. But I am advising that they
Let's
do
take
not
this
put,
caller. Let's take the caller. I like that line of thoughts. Good afternoon. You're welcome to the Polity. We can hear you. You're welcome to the Polity. You're on to the Polity on KAFTAN TV. We've lost the caller. Go ahead, sir.
So the point I was trying to make is it is going to be gradual but very, very sure and certain. It's not a matter of putting up a fight. Oh, okay. The judgment has been delivered. I'm going to stand on my ground and begin to fight the governor. No, it's not going to work that way. Gradually. And by the time you are the stooge or a stooge of the governor for now, and you have won your election and you are there as a, as a performing local government chairman, even the governor will be very, very careful to have some negative thoughts about you. So, as many of them as are able to come up now via this judgment, my advice for them, the local government chairman, is that they should put on their thinking cap and deliver the dividend of democracy. That is the only thing that will make them to break off from the manipulation of the governors. But if they are not ready to deliver and they are ready to play along with the governors, you discover that some of them will secretly go back to the governors and sign documents. They will even be refunding the same money that they have been granted autonomy. There are some states, some local governments in this country that they claim that even the one...
This caller. Sorry, doctor. Hello, good afternoon. You're welcome to the Polity on KAFTAN TV. Good afternoon. Go ahead with your comment. Your name, please, and where are you calling from?
This is Amos from Borno State.
Okay, go ahead, Amos, with your comment. We've lost the caller. I think the telephone network is epileptic today. Go ahead, sir. I
had an interaction with one of the local government chairmen.
I think he's calling back.
He was sharing his experience.
You continue on that line of interaction with. Hello, good afternoon. You're welcome to KAFTAN TV.
Good afternoon.
What's your name, sir?
Yeah, good afternoon. This is Mr. Gideon calling from Lagos.
Okay, Gideon, go ahead with your comment.
To me, I believe that Supreme Court judgment is not all that completed.
Okay.
Because one, they're supposed to include that INEC ought to run that local government election, not the state. But with this local government election, the governors, they will still place their favored member to the as a local government chairpersons. The INEC is supposed to run that local government election, not the state. Not the state.
Okay.
That electoral act should be corrected.
Okay, thank you, Gideon.
So that other parties in that state can have a play running ground for the chairmanship of the local government election, not the state. You see any governor who is of NPC governor in the state, all the local government, they will all win all the seats of the local government. It's not supposed to be so.
Okay, thank you
very much.
Thank you, Gideon. He said Gideon is of the view that when you allow one political party to win to sweep all the local government elections, it makes politics uninteresting. I want you to continue on your line of thoughts, your conversation with Chama, and then you respond to what you said.
Yes, what I'm saying is it has to be gradual. Taking over the mantle of leadership at the local government, free from the manipulation of governors, has to be very, very stern but gradual. I was trying to share my experience, the discussion I had with one of the local government chairmen, that they will transfer money into their account at the local level. They will sign that the money has entered into their account. In the next minute, the same amount will leave the account of the local government, transfer to another account. This has been the things that have been happening between the governors and the local government.
And he will be given peanuts.
Yes.
And he feels satisfied with that.
On that basis, my take is this. If you have an intelligent somebody that is coming as a local government chairman and he has programs, very sorry to say, most local government chairmen, they don't have programs.
Okay, welcome. We have a caller, please. Good afternoon, and you're welcome to the show.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Your name, please, where you're calling from.
My name is Ejeh. I'm calling from Maucauley local government area in Taraba State.
Go ahead, Juma, to your comment.
We really appreciate for this justice, sir. That is why I called.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
So what do you have to say?
I just show my appreciation and go and thank for you people. May God regard you as when they do this better program.
I say amen to that. Thank you.
We are watching you people live on Taraba.
From Taraba. Thank you, Danjuma.
Yes, sir. Call you for Maucauley local government area in Taraba State.
Thank you for your call. Thank you for your call. We appreciate. Go ahead, Ejeh.
So the point is this. The fund that some governors and some local government chairmen are seen as idle fund, and they are not attaching it to any project, is because even the local government chairmen themselves, they don't have programs.
Okay.
And I want to see a situation where, as a local government chairman, you are drafting or you are constituting or you are putting together your budget. Let it be people inclusive. I can't see myself, a local government, bringing borehole to my community and I did not request for it. You ask me what I need in the local government. Let it be people inclusive. And I want to believe that any serious local government chairman, after his election and swearing in, and he has a program that has been put together by his own people, there is no governor somewhere that is going to influence that program. So the governor, almost all of them, no, not all of them, most of the governors, they will deliberately make the local government chairman redundant and idle.
Okay, let's take this caller. Hello, good afternoon. This is the POLITY on KAFTAN TV.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Your name, please, and where you're calling from.
Our name is from Nasarawa State.
Idris, go ahead.
Yes, in fact, we are very, very happy with this together.
Thank you.
Now that the local government local government are full of the autonomy. So therefore, I congratulate the president for doing this. And also my advice is that the local government is not go and ask the government to do whatever they like.
Thank you. Thank you, Idris, from Nasarawa State. They are all speaking in the same vein. You know, there is some kind of consensus from Nigerians applauding the ruling today by the Apex Court. Let's take this caller, please. Hello, good afternoon. This is the POLITY, and this is your show. Your name, please, and where you are calling from.
Hello, good afternoon. I'm Mr. Wisdom, and I'm calling from Abuja.
Wisdom, go ahead with your comment.
Okay. As regards the judgment of the Supreme Court today, it's a welcome development in progress and the advancement of our democracy. You know, Nigeria has three kinds of government. And long before this time, permit me to say the local government system has been hijacked by most of the governors in our state. So this gives autonomy back to the local government, which is the grassroots. And I believe development of our nation largely depends on the local government, which is the grassroots. So it's a welcome development toward the advancement of our democracy. But the issue here is, I still believe that the governors still have a way of influencing the local government at the end of the day. Because just like you are saying, they can also finance, determine who comes into the local government system, who becomes the chairman in their, or chairperson in their state by sponsoring them. So conduct the local government election.
Mm.
Because as long as the state governor or the various state electoral bodies are in charge, the governor can still influence that judgment. And I'm also concerned, sorry to add, I'm also concerned with the issue that is recently happening in Rivers State, whereby there is this tussle in the local government system there. We have two factions laying claim to the local government in Rivers State. Some are loyal to somebody and the other ones are loyal to the present governor of the state. So in a situation like that in Rivers State, which is peculiar, I wonder what will be the impact of this judgment in determining who should be in charge of the local government. Because for a while now, the federal police, the police in Nigeria, the Nigerian police has been in charge of the local government. Permit me to say, for a while now, over 2 weeks or more, the states have been locked down, lock and key.
Okay.
So no activity is going on there. Local government workers who are civil servants are not going to work because they are awaiting a judgment. So I don't know what will become of Rivers State going by this Supreme Court judgment today. With those who are claiming to the local government as authentic chairmen, going by the fact that they were elected, although their tenure have elapsed, and they are insisting that a faction of the local government of the state assembly extended their stay, their duration to 6 months, and another side on the hand of another loyal party to the governor are also laying claim to the same local government that they are committee members. So going by this judgment, there is a dissolution. Although I'm not saying this, there is a certified copy of the judgment, but I think going by this, there is a total dissolution of the caretaker committee system, which is unconstitutional. So it's a welcome development.
Thank you.
It's a welcome development for our democracy.
Thank you, Wisdom.
Thank you.
Wisdom raised several issues, but I have two takeaways there. Let me ask you, Edward Chinoni. He said, based on today's Supreme Court's ruling, what is the status of local government, Rivers State local governments? Because there are two factions, as we all know. And then he also raised concerns over whose responsibility is it to umpire, which electoral body, is it the national or the state? His fear is that if you allow the states to continue, and if you don't back it by law, making INEC the overall umpire for local government election, there will be serious issues there. How do you react to that?
Yeah, just like what the last speaker said concerning Rivers State, I believe we are learning.
Yeah.
And we are learning it fast. A godfather brought the governor, but the governor break out of the godfatherism. I believe the local government too should learn from this. With this Supreme Court judgment, there is a roadmap already.
Yes.
For the grassroots to enjoy dividend of democracy.
Hold your line of thoughts. Let me answer this call. Hello, good afternoon. And welcome to the POLITY on KAFTAN TV.
Good morning. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Go ahead.
I'm calling from Benue State.
Benue State. Your name? Your name is what?
Calling Shelby.
Okay. Go ahead with your contribution.
No matter what we are still going through, I have to applaud this regime. You happen to see throughout, more especially from all the cabinet down to the local government level now, you see that most of our leaders are youths. There is complaint that they have been given that the youths are not given chances. This is their time now. So if it happens that things are not going well, they will be held responsible.
That's right.
Then coming back to the Supreme Court ruling, it's a welcome development.
Okay.
Now we are not going to hold the governor down to the federal level accountable to anything that will happen any longer. Now the chance has been given to them. More especially, everything is coming from the top down to the local government level. In spite of the development or infrastructure or something of that nature within the local government jurisdiction, if it is not done by any chairman, there is less for him. And there is one thing I want to enlighten to our hearing to. More especially, we have been having deaths of a thing that has been happening within the cycle of the workers in the local government, the UB, and all the whole the areas of the local government. There is no replacement. But each time we are hearing there some are there which are called the ghost workers receiving all these salaries. So all these issues have to be tackled on. And if all these things are not tackled, then there will be no employment, and if there is no employment, then there is no development. So I want us to have that issue in mind also, at least people at the helm of affairs should also discuss it. Very important to us.
Okay, thank you.
They're having graduates each time, every year. So all those things have to, at least those people that are eager to teach just like us, at least let the chances be given to. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now the case instituted by the Attorney General of the Federation, Lateef Fagbemi, was based on 27 grounds. We have not heard even more than 10 grounds. So we are yet to read the document to understand fully, the ruling by the Supreme Court. But let me ask you, you are on a line of thoughts. Okay, let me ask you, so you answer that one, when you're through with your line of thoughts. Don't you entertain fear that local government chairmen may become powerful like governors? Because governors wake up within their whims and caprices, decide on what they believe is their security vote, based on what they deem as insecurity within their purview. Don't you fear it may happen with local government chairmen? That they'll just wake up and say, this is what I want to take out of the allocation as my security vote, because I am now the chief security officer of this local government, because I'm not under the control of any governor.
Yeah, just like what you have said, some of the local government chairmen may not be all, because some are God-fearing, because they know that if they're not accountable to the grassroots or to their leadership, they'll be accountable to God. Yeah. So, and now that...
Let me tell you this caller, sorry.
Okay.
He's been calling since. Hello, good afternoon. Sorry for not picking your call. You're welcome to the POLITY.
Yes. You see, this issue of my name is Maucauley.
Okay, yeah, you're a regular caller.
Yeah. You see, the local government autonomy can talk to the Supreme Court. This is a elongated issue. Elongated issue that says that the House of Assembly member during the 6, 7, 8, 9 are supposed to give that is express approval. They trade the data. That's why you see all this insecurity ravaging our local government. Farmers cannot go to farm. Farmers cannot do anything. People cannot move freely. So in as much as Supreme Court has given approval, it is the duty of all speakers in all the House of Assembly, all the honorable members to sit down and gather and make sure they give approval so that the autonomy of local government will be that automatic. It will help us solve this problem of food. Can you imagine in Nigeria today? I was asking one would something. He said one would of this is 1,500. I say, he started laughing. But things are supposed to go naira. I'm talking about Gareth. One bucket of Garena is 5,000 naira, 4,000 naira. In a country that has a bridge, it's got out, you have excess vegetables, every cassava. But because of this, the people cannot move. So the area the House of Assembly moves, the better for us. So that governors should speak to the state and allow the local government to help us to have what is free, fair and transparent election in Nigeria, in our local government, in our state. Good morning. No longer the good morning business or good business of evening.
Thank you, Mazi. Thank you, Mazi Okorafo. We have another caller. Go ahead.
The local government chairmen have power. I said it as we start this interview.
Yes.
I said their power is almost that of the government.
Yeah, you're right.
And if they know they are right, they should stand by it. Now, the local government chairmen are closer to the people. Let me tell you, if they tamper with the funds anyhow, the people there and then will rise up against them. It's not that we know them. We know their houses, we know their families. Where would they run to? Unlike the one of governors, he stays in a big house and big mansion and this and that.
Some of them operate from Abuja.
Some of them operate from Abuja. But local government chairman is within there. Like my current local government chairman. I know it's just to take, if I didn't drive, I would just take keke, 100 naira to his house.
Okay.
So they should know what to do and do it prudently.
Okay, let's take this caller. Okay, we have lost him.
So
go ahead.
Even the governors will be afraid of them if they know they are right. Just like we are talking about the River State issue and the election that is about, maybe the local, just like what the other person, the caller said.
Hold on. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
This is the POLITY. Your name, please, and where you're calling from, and make your contribution.
My name is Abdul from calling from Niger State.
Okay, go ahead, Abdul.
Yes, I see this new judgment as just the way we reach democracy in Nigeria, that we are happy.
Okay.
We have not yet known the result. We see the impact in people before we appreciate it. Yes.
Okay.
That is a good judgment, because this local government should take this advantage and enrich themselves. Because people, if something gets out to our hand, that's why we react. But we pray that this should help that masses, because local government is the closest people to the people in the community. Understand? But if they didn't pay their work, they will do their role well. It will not be impact, as the judgment will not be impact in us, as we will not celebrate it. Because we are happy about that now they have the power to do anything, but until we see the impact, that was what we want to them.
Okay. Thank you, Abdul from Niger State. Go ahead.
So just like what I said concerning the River State and the local government chairman that are not in place, which somebody said that police are everywhere in the local government. In that kind of scenario, money shouldn't be released until there is a proper election that is conducted.
Yeah. And that's what the Supreme Court rules today.
Yes, and then a chairman should emerge.
Yeah.
Once they emerge, immediately the governor should release all the funds that is accruing to the local government, starting from today's judgment, once the election has come to play. So these are the things that ought to do. The local government chairman should be very careful. It is not yet Uhuru. It is not yet Uhuru. So
okay.
Now
let me ask Dr. Ejeh. Every elective office has tenure. The president has 4 years at the first instance, which is renewable if he wants to recontest. So also is the governor. And we say we have 3 tiers of government. Some states, local government lasts for only 2 years, while others last for only 3 years. There's no state that has ever, enjoyed 4 years tenure. What has been the problem?
I don't know what the constitutional provision says, but be that as it may, I foresee a situation where somebody will wake up one morning again to go back to Supreme Court, so that they have a unilateral tenure.
Yeah.
Yes, and to add to what my colleague was saying, pertaining to the fund of the local government, we should not forget the fact that we still have local government personnel. In a situation where, because there is not a proper election, there is no elected chairman, and you decide to withdraw their fund, how are their salaries going to be paid? That's where I have a second thought, that the personnel cost should be released to the DPM of the local government, so that the personnel cost or the salaries and allowances of the personnel should be paid. Then on the tenure of local government, there should be a pronouncement from the national or from Mr. President. I know he can do that through an executive order. And if it is not possible, they should go back to the Supreme Court too, so that the tenure of local government should be unilateral.
Okay.
Should be uniform.
Uniform. Okay, let's take this caller, please. Good afternoon. You're welcome to the POLITY.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Is that KAFTAN TV?
Yes, this is KAFTAN TV, studios in Abuja, live.
Okay, thank you. All right, my name is Ramon Seli, and I'm calling from Delta State, Asaba.
Okay, go ahead with your comments.
Okay, now, this ruling is very commendable. We are happy with the president for this. But please, we should note that this is just a first step.
Okay.
Let me tell you, there's no politician in Nigeria that fears God. So if you say, some local government chairmen, they are God fearing, because of that, they will not, they will have to do what they have to do. No, none of them fears God.
what we need to do is to follow up immediately. EFCC, NFIU should order instructions now or within the next 1 week on how to run local government accounts. They did it before during Buhari's time, but the governors went to court and defeated them then. But now that the Supreme Court have ruled, NFIU should mandate, number one, local government funds should never be transferred to any other government account. Local government funds should only be like into 3 accounts. Money should only be into 3 accounts. Maybe revenue, the one they used to get IGRO for personnel, and then the one they used to receive fact. But on no account should they transfer money into government account, because if you allow them, the governors will tell them, okay, there is a security vote, all local government, let us contribute money to the joint security account. Are you getting me?
Yes, yeah, loud and clear.
Yeah, so all things should be prevented, and NFIU, EFCC can do it. Give them order on which accounts local government monies can go to. And then secondly, no local government account should be allowed to withdraw that cash. It should always be on transfer basis. And finally, to conclude this process, the issue of INEC conducting local government election, the president should put his weight behind constitutional amendment on that. He should insist and tell the governors, this is my agenda and I need it to succeed. But there's one caveat. I hope and I pray that somehow they regime the constitution so that local government elections are no longer on partisan basis. Let people contest local government as independent candidates. Okay. So that the party should not be overbearing. A party will come and say, oh, you must come and pay 10 million. No. Let it be all comers, any individual. If you can collect maybe 10,000 signatures or 5,000 signatures, INEC does a kind of sample verification and you are good to go. Once we're going to have like 10 candidates in the election and they run it, but no political party should be allowed to sponsor a candidate to local government. Thank you.
Thank you, Zeni from Delta State. He's opening a new vista of reasoning or conversation in the polity by saying no candidate should use political party as a vehicle to contest election, but everybody that is interested should just throw his hat in the race. And what do you think about that? In addition to what you were saying.
Yes, I think that is a constitutional matter. The National Assembly can legislate on that. I think I support his idea.
You support it?
Yes, and my line of argument that I was on before the call came in. On the local government, I foresee 2 scenarios from what is playing out now after the Supreme Court judgment. Number one, I see a situation where the governors will still twist the local government chairman, either through intimidation or through false or fake promises. So I want to encourage them that they should stand their ground. They
like
can,
you said.
Yes, you can be resilient and be calm at the same time. Now, number 2, I see a situation where the governors would deliberately push some of the programs that are supposed to be executed by the state. Pushing it, since they know that the local government chairman, they have the fund, they would deliberately push those projects to them. The chairman too should stand their ground. They should know the areas they're supposed to operate. And the succor or the solution to all this is, if you're a local government chairman and you don't have a program for your people, you can be swayed either way. So they should come with a program, and each fund that is released from the federation account should be attached to programs. If I have my way as a Nigerian, I will even advise the federal government, each money that is released should be tallying with the budget that is submitted from the state and the budget that is submitted from the local government. I don't think there's anything wrong with saying that this fund we are giving that is 2 billion naira, and we have seen your budget, this money is supposed to go to this place, and this place. Then the EFCC should monitor it.
Okay, Chinoni, when he was talking about pushing his fear of, some state governors pushing developmental programs back to some local governments because of the funds that, will be used to implement them. What came to my mind was that it was the question of internally generated revenue. I know that I come from Adamawa State, and I know that as a northerner, there are local governments in a few states down south that are richer than some entire states in the north. In fact, they are wealthier than some African countries like Equatorial Guinea, Benin Republic. There are local governments within Lagos or Rivers that are richer than those states. What happens to the IGR? Because I'm asking this question because state governors, like you said, some of the local government chairmen will be intimidated or blackmailed. What do you think might play out in the long run with regards to IGR that will be accruing to some of the local government that are endowed?
Actually, what you said is, the question you asked, what you said is right, because the South, the local government chairman, with what they raised, especially the South region where I came from, there is serious money.
Yes. Why are you using the word serious?
Serious.
That's money. A very serious adjective.
And the local government,
serious money.
Yeah, the local government there, honestly, they are also powerful.
Their money long. In local palace, their money long.
So even though they submit to the governor,
but
yet they are still in money.
Yeah.
And then with this one again, that the federal allocation, what is accruing to them, will come directly to them. Let it not be a bazaar to them. And to those other local government that are not too buoyant like them there, I know that money has been coming in through the IGR and internal generated revenue and things like that. The governors also temper with such money. In fact, most of the money also goes to the government. I know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So with this, just like all that I and Dr. Ejeh has been saying here, let the chairman stand their ground. Because Constitution has empowered them to handle their funds.
Yeah.
If a governor brings an issue from the state, say there's the local government, the local government knows their jurisdiction concerning the locality. They know their boundaries. They know what they ought to do. Initially, Dr. Ejeh said that they didn't have plans. How would they have plans when there's no funds? If you have plans and there's no fund, what is the essence of the plan? It's useless.
It amounts to nothing.
Nothing. But right now, with this money coming in, I bet us the truth, the local government all over the country will be viable. But let them stand their ground against the governors. Let it not be business as usual.
Well, viewers, on that note, we're going to take a breather. When we come back, we'll continue with our conversation on reactions of the Supreme Court ruling today on the autonomy of local governments. But that will be after the break. Please don't go anywhere.
In a world where information is vital to every individual, a platform where technology is a medium to pass information, you can always catch up on all information written in the newspapers, even without having one. Join us on The Press.
Reaching live from the Abuja studios.
On the Punch for this morning, the Blueprint newspaper, Nigerian Tribune this morning.
As we give you information and opinions about current events and topical issues on politics, business, sports, entertainment, weather forecasts, and lots more in the local city, across all states, and across all countries. Showing daily on Startimes, channel 124, 9 a.m. West African time, only on KAFTAN TV. Stay connected with us.
That he said it is a reason why I would not do it. I pursue the federal government to pay us our damages.
YouTube, KAFTAN TV.
A very tricky one, and then the bottom line is this.
Website www.kaftan.tv.
Point is, the youth must come together. The pendulum can swing in your favor.
Instagram, KAFTAN_TV. KAFTAN TV. Imagine a beautiful world.
Sheilo BCFR, the black comedian of the Federal Republic. I tell you, when it comes to the best of entertainment, the best of news, the best of information, something that is educative, you're right here at the best place to see that. It's KAFTAN TV. You know what? Increase the volume. Keep watching. Don't touch the dial, okay?
It's your girl Nkechi Blessing Sunday. I want you all to keep watching KAFTAN TV.
Please keep watching KAFTAN TV. It is the best civil station in the country. They're doing an amazing job. Please do not touch the dial. Keep watching. Thank you.
You're welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is the Polity live from KAFTAN TV studios in Abuja, and we are discussing reactions that have trailed today's Supreme Court ruling on local government autonomy. Nigerians have been agitating for decades for local government to have full autonomy, and that thing has happened today. Still with me in the studio is Dr. Jonathan Ejeh. To my far right, he's an author and a public affairs analyst, and beside him is Chinoni, public affairs analyst. And our phone lines are still displayed on your screen so that you can call to make the program conversational. It is your show. Now let me ask you, gentlemen, the role of, first of all, before I go into the role of traditional rulers and their reactions, let me talk about the way the opposition parties in Nigeria view everything from a political prism. I've not seen any reaction from the major political parties, be it from presidential candidates or political parties, but only one presidential candidate of a national political party, that's the Social Democratic Party, Prince Adewale Adebayo. He's the only opposition candidate who was in a hurry to tweet by supporting this this Supreme Court ruling. What's your reaction to that? Why are we playing politics with things that are supposed to unite the country?
Everybody is from one local government or the other. And as an individual, whether you're a politician or not, you should have the interests of your people at the grassroots at heart. This is a judgment that everybody, including the governor, is supposed to rejoice and congratulate the judgment. If their interest is to develop the grassroots, if their interest is to reduce the hunger that is in the land now.
Yes.
So I want to commend the effort of the SDP presidential candidate.
Okay.
And I want to encourage others too to support this government of Tinubu by supporting the judgment and encouraging their own state governors to let go the funds that are meant for the local government chairman.
And what's your reaction to that?
Actually, I commend the SDP presidential candidate. Such a person have the masses at heart for him to speak out and speak out boldly. And I know that he's one of those people following the trend of this judgment to see that the local government is autonomous on its own. So I say kudos to him. Kudos to him.
Kudos to Adewale Adebayo, the SDP presidential candidate, for taking that initiative to tweet in support of the Supreme Court ruling today. And let me ask you, traditional rulers, would you say they'll be happy with this?
In some ways,
because, you know why I ask this question?
Yes.
Because under this, every state governor will have, Ministry of Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs. And since the advent of this democratic journey, that office has been accused of being a conduit pipe for some governors.
The issue is that the traditional rulers will be very happy. It will be a welcome development for them, even though they may not be outspoken. Because right now, the chairman of the local government have to be dealing with them too directly. And I believe there will be proper accountability. If the chairman is digressing or misbehaving, the king or the chief around there can call his attention. Because one of the closest persons close to the people is even the kings, the chiefs, the kings, and those around, and then the local government chairman. So the kings will be happy, the chiefs will be happy. They will.
Okay. Do you share the same view?
Yeah, I share the same view, and I want to add that we are talking of a situation where the governors will still be on the neck of the local government chairman. I want to encourage the federal government to investigate the funds that have been transferred to the local government via the state governors to date. And why do I say that? My people, they have a saying that when you are carrying elephant as a meat on your head, you will not waste your time to bend down to dig for cricket. Yes, let them begin to receive the heat on investigation of the local government chairman. It will now give a leeway for the local government chairman to work effectively. If they put the searchlight on them, come and account for what you do with local government fund, the local government chairman will now they will be able to concentrate and do the right thing and take the dividend of democracy to the grassroots. Now, if I may ask, we are talking of the traditional rulers. These local government and chieftaincy affairs, the funds that have been there, you say they are using it as a conduit pipe. How much of that money did the local government or the traditional rulers, how much of that money, such money, are they benefiting from? I think what the federal government is trying to do is to take the government closer to the people. And the traditional rulers are with the people.
Okay.
There is no way there will not be an improvement upon what we are seeing now.
Okay.
So it's commendable.
Now, Edward, he talked about probe, and some people may argue that let's just put the past behind us and forge ahead. What do you think?
Actually, let's put it behind, because even the probe will not bring anything.
Okay.
Good. Haven't there been probing all over? There has been.
Unending probes.
And secondly, even the probe, the people you will put to do the probing, billions of naira will still go into it, and yet there will be no result. So let's just put the past behind. When you say to put fear on the governors and make the chairman to sit well, the probe is not really necessary. Any local government that knows what is there for should stand up for his right and the constitution and to defend his locality. That is my stand.
Well, let's now talk about the role of the National Assembly. When the Attorney General of the Federation instituted this case against the governors, the 36 state governors, on 27 grounds. The Constitution is the ground norm, so there has to be some portions of the Constitution that will be amended. What do you see? Do you think should be the role of the National Assembly in the workers coming down to state assemblies?
The pronouncement of the Supreme Court has given a foundation for whatever amendment to be made. I want to advise and encourage the state governors. They should sheathe their sword. Most of constitutional amendments, it will have to go to the state through the State House of Assembly.
To get it to a third.
And they will still constitute as a stooge, a roadblock to any amendment. If they have the interest to develop, and if they want to support what the federal government is doing, they should allow any amendment that is for the betterment of this nation to sail through. It is in their own interest to do that.
Okay, let's take this caller before I ask my next question. Good afternoon, you are on to the POLITY.
Yes, my name is Sally. I'm calling from Jos.
Sally from Jos. Go ahead with your comment.
Thank you very much. I want to say the judgment of the Supreme Court is a welcome development.
Okay.
Because the governors have turned the local government to become an appendage of the state government. And these issues are constitutional, whereby we have the federal, the state, and the local government. If these governors will allow the local government to work, there are so many things that even the state governors does not have anything to do with. Local government chairman can handle this thing square and square. So it's a welcome development. And for the local government chairman sitting on power, whether be transition, be it elected, they should know that this thing that has come to them, they should not allow for any way the governors should do whatever they want to do with it. And the one of the panelists in the studio talked about having two-third majority in the State House of Assembly when it comes to issue of constitutional amendment. Some of the House of Assembly has even voted against themselves for their own autonomy. So you can see how bad the thing went. Because when they were trying to give their autonomy, they voted against themselves. A lot of them voted that they don't want the autonomy. So it's a very shocking thing. But this one, I'm telling you, people are up for it because the local government have to work. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Sally from Jos. He raised very pertinent issue there, that because of the influence or overbearing influence of state governors, some of them even voted against themselves that they don't want autonomy. How would you react to that?
Well,
why are Nigerians like that, politicians, Nigerian politicians?
Just like he mentioned something about politicians, that they are not godly. They are not afraid of God. Well, it has come to them now. Local government is free.
Okay.
They have bound themselves because they rejected what made them to be free.
Yeah.
If you reject freedom, you are in trouble.
Yeah.
If you reject freedom, you'll be in bondage. Thank God for this ruling. The State Assembly should also wake up. I don't know how they will go about the issue because they went against themselves.
They went against themselves.
You shooting yourself with the gun.
Okay, let's take this caller. Hello, good afternoon. This is the POLITY from KAFTAN Television Studios in Abuja.
Hello, Mr. Hunohashi.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon.
Your name, please, and where you're calling from?
My name is Joseph. I'm calling from Abuja.
Okay, go ahead, Joseph, with your comments.
Okay. Good afternoon, guests. Nice talking to you.
Nice talking to you too.
This ruling by the Supreme Court is a very welcome development. I truly am impressed with it. The only thing we will be hoping for now is local governments who have been championing for this. We've not seen, we don't have money, governors have sat on our monies and all of that. Now they have bound themselves. The onus rests on them to deliver. You can't say you don't have money any longer. Monies have come. Development, politics is actually supposed to start from the it's actually grassroots, and it works upwards to the federal government. So if local governments have been empowered, then they must be held accountable. Now there was a question in between that you threw to one of the guests there, and he was of the opinion that local government governors should now have their eyes probably investigate or delve into how monies are spent. I would have loved that, but on the other hand also, who is holding the governor accountable?
Exactly.
Governors have been receiving money. What have they done with it? They sit on state allocations for 8 years. What have they done with it? So who is holding who accountable? Otherwise, it would have been a beautiful scenario where both of them are watching over each other. So this one is working, that one is also working. Where you have not done well, it is the onus rests on the other person to say, you have not done well. And then you tighten your belt and sit up and work. So I love it is a welcome development. I pray that we will see great changes from this ruling. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Joseph. Joseph is highly elated. He's happy with this judgment, just like all the callers that call. There seems to be a consensus with regard to this ruling, with the exception of the governors, perhaps. But why is it so?
Yeah, because everybody is craving and yearning for it. Everybody. Look at it, everybody. No single person in this our conversation condemned it. Highly welcome development. Who doesn't want good things? Who doesn't want good things? Our problem now is just that the local government chairman that knows this truth should wake up.
Should wake up.
Or else the masses, the people around him there, will not let them go.
Now, in Ondo State, what we have today is Caretakers Committee. In River State is Caretakers Committee. In Adama, there is no local government at all. And election has not been held. In so many states, there have not been elections. What's the implication of this ruling over that kind of scenario?
I think the ruling has brought up a different line of thought to all politicians across the board. The opposition parties that used to fold their hands when it comes to local government election, a window of opportunity has been opened on today. And I begin to imagine why a state governor should be interested in a local government in another senatorial district. If I'm a governor, the candidate I would be interested in is the candidate from my local government.
Okay, let's take this caller before you continue. I love that line of thought. Good afternoon. You're welcome to the POLITY. Go ahead with your comment. Your name, please. Who? Okoro, okay, go ahead.
Okay.
From where?
Yeah, the topic is very, very good. It's impressive. I love that.
Thank you.
The president and done. I love it. And this is to show that the prayer that the whole Catholics are praying for Nigeria, that is a big process. That the prayer is working.
Thank you.
All right. I'm very, very happy. Thank God.
Thank you so much. He's happy that God is answering our prayers as a nation. Go ahead on your line of thoughts.
Yes. There are two vital interests I want to advise our governors in this country. They should be interested in who emerges as a candidate and as a local government chairman from their own local government. And number two, being the father of the state and the accounting officer of the state, they should be interested in who becomes candidate as far as it relates to their political parties at the local government. But while they are holding onto power and selecting, instead of allowing the electorate to elect whosoever they want to lead them, is because of this fund that they are holding. Now that the fund is one way or the other being taken away from them, they will think twice now before they will go and influence in another local government. Because you cannot tell somebody to spend money the way you want, his own money the way you want. So I think I'm very, very happy the way things are going on.
Now, Edward, many states have turned the political firmament into a one-party state. How good or bad would you say that kind of arrangement is for our polity?
Actually, it is very bad. Because there will be no competition. There will be no competition. And people will be scared to come out. Other political parties will be scared to come out because already it is one-party system.
Okay, let's take this caller.
Okay.
Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Polity.
Hello there.
Hello, good afternoon. Your name, please, and where you're calling from?
My name is Andrew Adai. I'm calling from Otukpo, Benue State.
Then you go ahead, please, with your comments.
Okay. You see, the Supreme Court ruling is really a step forward for Nigeria as a whole. Over the years, the governors have used local government funds as pocket money.
Okay.
In the last 24 years, there has been no real development in the local government. And this particular ruling shouldn't really stop at this. The last 16 years should really be financially audited. And all the governors held accountable for all the monies they have done whatever they would with it. And left the local government in such a horrible state.
Okay.
I appreciate the ruling of the Supreme Court, honestly.
Okay, thank you.
I hope we will continue to see these kind of things in the future.
Thank you, Andrew. Thank you so much, Andrew, for your call. Okay.
So just like what I was saying, one-party system is very bad for the state and for the nation.
For the nation.
There will be no competition. It's just like now in a football game, there must be opponent.
Yeah.
When only you become the only player and the only opponent, how does it look like?
It will be less interesting.
It will not be interesting.
Okay, let's take this caller.
Okay.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
This is the Polity from KAFTAN TV studios in Abuja. Your name, please, where you're calling from?
Yes, I'm calling from Jos. My name is Solomon.
Solomon from Jos. Go ahead.
Yes.
You're a regular caller.
I just want to appreciate the Supreme Court judgment, and it's a good honor to democracy.
Thank you very much, Solomon.
And I want to also suggest that the local government election should be conducted by INEC.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your call. All callers seem to be on, the same line. But as we wind down, let me just digress a little bit and ask you, Dr. Jonathan Ejeh, this question. It's been agitating my mind from the day President Bola Ahmed Tinubu took over the reins of governance. There was this spectacle that created some kind of national comic relief, to some people, to some Nigerians, and that has to do with what was tagged fake bishops. You remember? It was alleged that one of you was part of it.
Okay.
Were you the one? Yes.
Okay, how did you come about that idea? I was even told that you masterminded it.
Yeah.
Okay.
By the grace of God, I'm a bishop.
Okay.
And also political analyst. We saw what was coming. We heard what was coming, not from man. I led the 30 bishops, just like what I told you, I'm a bishop, and also a political analyst.
Okay.
I led the 30 bishops because we heard not from man. This is spiritual now. And we went. I led the 30 bishops to the unveiling of Shetima's vice presidential candidate. That was last year. And we were there.
Okay. Were they real bishops?
Yeah.
Many people didn't believe that they were bishops because we saw the characteristics of those bishops.
What you saw there, some of the things you saw, is the handwork of bloggers.
Okay.
And from the obedient.
Okay.
I'm a bishop, have churches here and there.
But I personally saw some bishops, changing their regalia and their cassock.
At the venue?
At the venue.
No.
Some even rode on
no, those ones that you saw, if you watch the cassock, those people you saw on bike, they wore white garment.
So were you saying it was hijacked? Or?
It was hijacked.
Okay.
Let me tell you.
What did you want to achieve with that?
No, not
to show that there was total support from the leadership of the church, or what?
Yes, that is one. And secondly, we believe we want a change because I don't want to talk about the previous government that left. Okay. The church suffered.
Okay.
The church suffered, and we want a change.
Okay, give me your last thoughts on these local government autonomy movements in 30 seconds.
Yeah, I want to congratulate Nigerians and commend the effort of the Supreme Court. And I want to believe that the journey has just started.
Okay.
I don't foresee a situation where any other person will approach Supreme Court, but there are works to do, both at the national level, at the state houses of assemblies, and the governors. If we are looking at one direction, there will be no problem. And I want to encourage every party involved in this matter, especially the governor, to look at the same direction, the masses, development at the grassroots, succor to the livelihood of the Nigerian populace.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, your final thought in 10 seconds?
Just to once more to congratulate the Supreme Court and to talk to this chairman. Once they are saddled with the responsibility of governance, they should do it without fear or favor. Let God be their fear.
Okay.
That's all.
Well, viewers, that's the size of our package, but I would like to thank my guest in the studio, Dr. Jonathan Ejeh, who is an author and public affairs analyst, for finding time to come to the studio. Dr. Jonathan Ejeh, you're welcome to the POLITY. Thanks for joining us here.
Thank you for having me. God
and beside me is Edward Chinoni. Edward Chinoni is a bishop. He's actually, viewers, you can see him. He was the man that organized the bishops that were present at the unveiling of Vice President Kashim Shettima, which so many Nigerians bloggers tagged as fake bishops. And he joined us today on the POLITY to extrapolate on the topic today. Bishop Edward Chinoni, thank you for joining me on the POLITY.
Thank you very much.
Well, I would like to thank vibrant callers who called from far and wide for participating to make the program conversational. My name is Maucauley Hunohashi. Thanks for joining us on the POLITY. See you next time, and bye-bye.